guys. We are back with episode 2, and I'm so happy that Leonie is back on my couch. And today we're going to go deeper into dating for successful women, dating on an island, and maybe Leonie also wants to share more about her dating life. So, welcome, Leonie.
Thank you so much, Iggy. It's again a pleasure to be here, and I'm super excited to talk about everything today love and dating in Bali and love and dating in this year, 26.
Well, I think we need to just start to dive right into it. I think a lot of my girlfriends, when dating comes up, they're already like, oh my God, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Why is it that dating is so exhausting right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I hear that a lot of times too. And I believe that the current dating culture, and I'm not saying that everyone behaves like this, but people are afraid to commit. So, what happens if they have the choice, like, hey, I can date you, but maybe there's someone better, after you on the dating app.
Paradox of choice.
Exactly. So, and that happens a lot of time, that people feel like, hey, I thought I met a nice man or woman. I thought we had a connection. And then suddenly it ends after, I don't know, 5 dates or something. And then they hear, like, hey, I'm not ready for a relationship. Or I really like you, but,
I don't like the word but.
but,
And it should be and.
exactly. I mean, we can throw butts in the klikkerbak.
Literally.
Not that but. No, I totally agree with you. But so yeah, the reason that they have a lot of choice on the dating app, so yeah, that makes some people not ready to commit. And then the people who are dating feel like, hey, I do my best, in dating, and it doesn't work out again and again and again. And then yeah, it's logical that you get that feeling of be exhausted and where does this end? So that's also why a lot of women decide to have babies by themselves.
Ooh, that's a big topic, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but we can
We
save
are
it
in
for
that
later.
age group that we are thinking about babies. But
Hmm.
I just want to go back to
Sure.
being exhausted and dating. Something that works for me because it is very easy to fall in that trap of like, oh my God, dating is so exhausting. But I now learned that we're just connecting. We're just all like, the one thing we all want is love, right?
Yeah,
Connection. So if we don't put too much stress on the word dating and just see it as, hey, I'm going to connect with someone today. Let's just find out how this person works and let's just connect and have fun instead of, oh, I'm dating. No, we're connecting. And I
exactly.
just want to learn more about this person and see if we have a connection. If not, okay, we're moving on. And
Yeah.
take it that lightly really helped me to have fun in dating again.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I tell my clients as well, because, we make it such a big topic in our lives. And exactly, using the word dating, it puts so much pressure on the word. Like
Mm.
it all almost comes with expectations, and expectations always come with disappointments. So those two are related, And if we just, I always tell my women, my girls, like, hey, dating should be like, okay, you're going to meet your new gay best friends. And why do I use gay best friends? This has nothing to do with gays or anything, but just to take the pressure off. Oh, maybe this is the man of my dreams. Maybe this is my future
Mhm.
husband. Maybe this is him. Because if we put that energy already on a person we didn't even met, or maybe you met him already once and then he asked you out for a date, and then in our heads I always call it Disneyfication.
Mhm.
So our inner Disney princess already sees herself with this guy living in a pink castle,
Yeah.
after date one, or maybe after a match on Tinder or Happen or whatever.
Mm.
So it is very important that you really put the energy on yourself. Like, hey, I'm going out there, I'm putting myself out there, I'm going to meet a person. If it clicks, it clicks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then if it does, there is still no label. There is no prince. There is no future husband. It's just a person. The same person you can meet on the street who is walking with a dog.
Mm.
Nothing more, nothing less. If we go back and see people as people instead of future walking husbands,
Mm.
then we make it so much easier for ourselves. Because also our energy really changes when we go to on a date.
Mm.
You know, a lot of women just transform themselves into a person they're not because they want to be liked by the other person, by their date. They change maybe sometimes hair or shoes or whatever because they know, oh, this person really loves sneakers and I never wear sneakers. I always wear high heels. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wear sneakers on the first date. That's what we do
Yeah.
because we want to be liked and loved. But it makes no sense.
I think we all made that mistake. I've done that, but I'm
Me too.
trying to stay true to myself right now. What I do want to know from you, because I'm in a period of my life, I'm very intentional with my dating, and I do want to find my husband.
Yeah.
So, is that something you should put in your dating profile or tell the guy from the beginning, like, hey, I am not here to have a hookup. I am here to find a true connection. I really want to find my husband. That's my ultimate goal. I want to start a family. I think that's really important to, have that energy out there. But would you recommend the women that are watching right now to put that on their dating profile so you already skim out the worst part? Or is this something you can tell to the person? I would love to hear your thoughts about that.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. First of all, dating apps these days are not how they used to work. That's a little bit how I feel. I'm not saying all dating apps suck and they don't work at all, but it's sometimes a little bit harder to find someone via a dating app. But
Mm,
if you use one, don't use Tinder, first of all.
no Tinder.
No Tinder.
Why no Tinder? I'm
Be
not on Tinder, by the way. I don't.
no.
I think I know why I'm not on Tinder,
Yeah.
but the rumors are out.
Honestly, and yeah, what I see, and of course, I'm not generalizing like it will never work,
Mm,
but what I see and hear back from my clients is that there are a lot of men on there who have a relationship, who only look for hookups. The
mm,
quality of men, I just doubt it a little bit, like the intention, And once again, it's not every man because there are also good men out there and also, of course, also on Tinder, but what I see happening is that we all want a high value man, who we want someone like a Tony Robbins who works on himself, is looking for growth, freedom, da da da, all the values that we
masculine,
masculine,
provider,
exactly,
financially.
has his shit together.
Yeah.
So I strongly believe, and I'm really, yeah, put a lot of effort to help my women to put themselves more out there, to go to more events, to go to different places, to meet people in the wilds. Because, a real high value man is maybe not on a dating app because he may be, and I'm not saying he is not, he can be there too.
Mm,
But if you put yourself on a dating app and you are asking a question like, hey, should I put out there like, I want to meet my future husband? Yes, you can, because I really love it when you are super specific in your profile.
mm.
And don't use words as I do not want a one night stand. I do not want a hookup. I do not want this, that. I do not want a guy who doesn't have his life together. Of course,
Talk
we
about what you do want.
yes, and make it very specific.
Mm,
Put out there like, hey, I'm looking for my future husband, a partner in crime, a partner I can build our empire with, our
mm,
family with. I love to travel with you to places like this, that, and that. I would love
mm.
to build a house together, like a farm with a lot of baby goats and ducks and dogs, whatever, and 5 kids. I'm just making
5
something
is a
up.
lot though, but yeah,
Okay,
okay.
three, two kids, whatever it is, and I want to grow our own vegetables in the garden. If that is your dream, put it out there,
Mm,
and yes, it will shift, but not all of it will shift because a lot of people do not read your profile. But yeah, okay, you can give it a shot.
mm,
And also, when you are having your first date with whoever, I mean, it can be someone from a dating app, it can be someone you just met or got introduced to,
mm,
whatever it is, I believe it's very important that you share what your future goals are, what is important to you.
mm.
It's not like, I want this, I want that. You remember that?
Oh
But
yeah,
like,
you
hey,
learned me that lesson a few weeks ago.
yes. Exactly. If
Yeah.
you just open up, like, hey, what is important for your future? Ask that question.
Yeah.
How do you, not how do you see yourself in 5 years? That's a, more like for a job, but more like, hey, what is important for you if you look at your future? If you look at where do you want to live?
Yeah.
Or what kind of travels, trips would you like to make? Do you see yourself as a husband? Why is that important to
Mm.
you? Those kind of questions, and then you have a real deeper conversation. And if someone's like, well, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I never thought about it, you also have an answer.
Yeah, it's true. You
You
do
know,
filter them quickly with
you
the
filter
being so
them.
direct, or at least telling you from what's important for me right now. If you start a sentence like that, it's a completely different story than I want, I want. That's something that Leonie taught me a few weeks ago
Yeah.
because I had some issues with a guy. But yeah, we
Yeah.
resolved that. And I learned, and it's ingrained in my memory. So,
Yeah, that's great because you put a different energy on it. Why is that? Because if you share with someone else, it's just like you have a conversation, not an interview.
mm,
Because a lot of dating is about an interview. Like, okay, where do you grow up? What do you want in life? What kind
mm,
of job do you have? How much money do you make? Da
mm,
da da. It's not nothing emotional connection. But if you ask, like, hey, what is important to you if you look like marriage, no?
mm,
And someone tells you a little bit about it, then you get a more emotional answer. And also for yourself, if you share, like, yeah, for me, it's important to get married and to start a family
mm,
because I feel that I'm going to be an amazing mom and I want to learn and teach my kids certain lessons in life. And I love to hug them, and I see myself as a perfect wife, a beautiful wife who,
mm.
and with a husband that I can build a future with, that we can also give back to society, for example.
Wow, you named it right there. That's what I want.
Tell it,
Yeah. Well,
tell it.
to be honest, like I've tried the dating apps and we are in Bali right now. And I do feel in Bali, you don't need a dating app.
No.
You have the gym. You have enough opportunities. Even on the beach, you can walk on the beach and you can have a date in a second, which
Yep.
you're so good at this, at attracting dates. Like I think you
Yeah.
can attract 3 days in one day. I don't know how she does it, but you do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did step away from the dating apps, but just to not encourage anyone, I do think if you put the right energy in the dating app and you are higher with your standards and saying upfront, like, this is what I'm looking for, you're already fishing in a smaller pool. And the dates that I did have from the dating apps, my last experiences were all fantastic. They were all great men. They were all exactly actually what I was looking for, but we were just not in the same time zone or different countries, which it was
Yeah.
difficult to move forward. But yeah, I have no bad experiences so far with dating apps. I
No.
do use Raya and Hinge,
Yeah.
and my age basket and how tall a guy has to be is my pool is already pretty small. Which yeah, like the ones that come through, I give them a chance. I think it's worth it,
Yeah.
because this is a good topic. I think for me to step up to a guy is still pretty hard. And it's also something you taught me is that we should give the guy at least a little bit of a hint of, hey, you're welcome to come and step to me. And I think that's really hard for me. I'm now learning that. I'm like in my 30s, and I'm now learning from you that I have to give them a smile or give them something to come up to you. Can
Yeah.
you explain to girls that are watching more about this subject
For sure,
because
for sure. Yeah, that's thank you for bringing this up because this is actually what I believe in, especially these days, we are so glued to our phones. We take the phone everywhere, in the gym, to the toilet, to,
oh,
well, almost
guilty,
almost in the
guilty.
sauna. Well, then
I
it
bring it to the sauna
oh
too.
my god.
Just oh
Yeah.
gosh, so bad.
So the thing is, because we are glued to our phones, we are not approachable. I mean, I think it's logical if you see someone who is on their phone, headphones on, that person is completely shut off from reality because they're watching or listening to something else.
Mm,
So, That's why I strongly recommend and strongly advise to put yourself out there without it. Put your phone in your bag and just go sit somewhere and see what happens. Just make eye contact. If it's in a little coffee bar, whatever it is, even if you were gonna work on your laptop, shut your laptop down, go sit there, enjoy your latte, matcha, whatever it is, and just sit and look around you. And you will see and just start a conversation. Like simple things
Mm.
as, hey, how is the food here? Or hey, you look like you work hard. Don't forget to take a break. I mean,
Don't forget to take a break. I love
this
that one.
yeah, but this is just human
Mm.
conversations. And
True.
if you start to do that, you see things will change drastically in a good way. Because we are not open to we want to meet our guy organically, right?
Yeah, we do.
Everyone tells me that. I hate dating apps. I don't want to be on them. I want to
Yeah.
meet him organically. And then I say, and what do you do for it? And then it's silencio.
Yes. I'm guilty because even this morning, I was like, Iggy, you have your earplugs in and you're on your phone. It's 8 a.m. You're having a coffee. Can you please take away all your devices? And I did. But you really have to learn to get comfortable with the uncomfortable because it,
Yeah,
it is uncomfortable. Because I'm thinking, do I look weird? Is someone watching me? Like,
yeah,
so you're so busy with what other people think again. So I acknowledge it. I need work on that side still.
yeah.
How do we feel less uncomfortable with this just sitting with ourselves?
Practice. It's just practice because exactly what you say, we put in our heads that it looks weird that we are maybe pathetic or something sitting there by ourselves without a phone
Yeah.
because phones are distraction. And you know what? It just reminds me of something I used to do in the past. I was a smoker for long.
Ooh,
I
I didn't
know.
know you were a
Oh,
smoker.
yes,
You
for
know,
long.
I'm
But
so anti smoking. I hate
me
smokers.
too, but I already quit years ago. But
Mm-hmm.
when I was still smoking, smoking is exactly something to put in your hands to distract yourself. How many times, were people in a bar standing if they were waiting for a friend or something, and especially before there were phones?
Mm-hmm.
People were smoking to give themselves, like, oh, then I have something to do. Because otherwise I look awkward when I'm just standing there by myself without anything to do. So we think we always need something to do. And a phone is the best distraction because, yeah,
There's
if you
always
just do
something.
this or you listen to music or you scroll, because most of the people do this, huh?
Mm.
They just scroll and it's just doom scrolling. And so I'm not judging it because I also do it. But what I'm trying to say is we are so disconnected from ourselves that it's also hard to meet someone organically. Well, I met men organically because I was not doing anything.
Yeah.
And then your energy is just out there. People notice it and then you're approachable and then it happens.
Mm.
So we need to learn to be more okay with ourselves. We don't need to distract ourselves with anything. Just go out for lunch by yourself without a phone, without a book.
Yeah, this reminds me actually of a little feature or like a thing that happened on the paddle club with me this weekend with my
Okay.
friend. We went to play paddle, and then there was a group of men there, and we already saw them staring, but I think they were scared to step up to us. And again, I remembered you saying like, "Hey, give them the first sign."
Yeah.
So when we stood up, I was like, "Hey, did you guys had a good match?" And they were so I could just see the joy in their eyes, like, "Oh, she's talking to us." Like
Yeah.
that gives us the first step to move forward, you
Yeah.
know. And even the guy told me, he's like, I didn't want to be aggressive because I don't want to be one of those like you probably go to the gym and a million guys come up to you, and I'm thinking in my head, no,
That's
none
not
of the
happening.
guys in the gym steps up to me.
Exactly. But this is what is wrong these days because people believe that a beautiful woman like you gets approached all the time. But all the
Mm.
men that I interviewed here, and they were all hot and hot happening, gym bros, whatever they were. I mean, I just asked them, like, hey, how do you date? How's your dating life going? What do you
Interesting.
experience? Yeah, what do you
Yeah.
experience? And all of them said because I said to them, okay, you must be in the candy shop when you are in the gym. You know, you see all those amazing women working out, and they're all beautiful. They all have great bodies, and they all work on their health and lifestyle. So it's the candy shop, right? And then they
Mm.
said, yeah, but. And I said, okay, what kind of but?
But what's
Which
the but
but?
now again?
Yeah. And then they said, yeah, I don't want to step up to a woman and approach them because they don't want to be the creep.
Yeah.
Because these days, also on the internet, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere, you see that a lot of people talk about what masculinity should be, and that the guys should step up to women, and but a lot of men are creeps, and Andrew Tate and this and that, and the manosphere. And I mean, if I believe that if guys, also the normal guys, get constantly fed with this information, and that they are blamed for everything that's been done to women, and that's another topic, but that they kind of look like, okay, I don't want to be that guy that a woman thinks that I'm a creep
Yeah.
if I approach them, because it happened in the past. They told me that if they approach a woman, sometimes they say, like, or they give the look like, what do you want from me? Or,
Mm.
I have a boyfriend. Fuck off,
Mm.
like that. So they're like, okay,
Mm.
I'm just backing off. I'm not approaching anymore.
Mm. Yeah, this is a big one because I think I don't want to say we're all a little bit lost in dating life because I can't talk for everyone, but I do feel like, again, with the masculine and the feminine and how guys should show up in a relationship, how women should be, and after feminism, how do we women show up in a relationship? It changed so much of what we saw from our mothers. And
Mhm.
I think it all gets back to us now. Like, in the end, I feel like a woman does feel better if she is with a more provider type of man. Um, what's your vision on this?
Yeah, a lot of things did change. But I think these days, also women can step up a little bit more. Um, because you see a different trend is going on. You see the guys who really want a threat wife,
Mm-hmm.
which is back to the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And some women want to be that wife, which is also okay. I mean,
Mm.
we do not all have to be like the super successful woman who is also a provider,
Mm.
because that's what we learned, from I think from the 50s, to get our own career, to study,
Yeah.
to provide for ourselves. And then we had more, especially after the generation of the baby boomers. And
Our
then
parents or my mom and dad. Yeah.
exactly. And then, a different generation grew up who was more like, hey, I have my own choices.
Mm.
I can do whatever I want. There are more divorces. So women, there are more
Yes.
single women with kids. So the whole demographics kind of changed in terms of love. Um, so yeah, more women learn to be independent, self sufficient because of that. And also knowing better what they want and what they don't want. But we also lost a little bit, maybe, of the thread wife. And I'm not saying we all need to be one,
Mm.
but it is a matter of energy shift. And I think these days, because all my clients are exactly, well, like you, like in their 30s, they have a great career, they look fantastic, they have amazing friends, they work on themselves, all of
Mm.
them, but they cannot attract love
Mm.
because sometimes they are also a little bit disconnected from the receiving part, from the, hey, I can be chosen, I don't have to choose.
Mm. That's powerful. Yeah, I just reflect back to me and I feel like being a successful woman um, is great in your 20s. But what I realize is that I am not a career woman anymore. I
Mhm.
am a woman with a career. And that's a huge difference, I feel. Because, first of all, I'm a woman and I want to feel like a woman.
Yeah.
And it's so nice if I have a man in my life who wants the same thing and gives me that safety to be a woman. Um, So, do you think it's possible to be a successful woman but still attract a masculine man? Because are masculine men attracted to successful women?
Great question. First of all, yes, it's still possible because I see it happening
Woo!
around me all the time with my clients as well. So it's still possible, but it is also important that the energy we put out there is more based on our feminine part because our masculine part is trained very well. You know, if you're single for a longer time, you're used to do things by yourself. You're used to have your career and fix everything, you know? So we're actually a little bit forgotten how it is that someone takes care of you. And we only know that maybe from our childhood that mom and dad were taking care of us, you know? So we can go back to that part to really lean in that part of ourselves. Like, hey, I am open to receiving, I'm open to attracting, but how do we do that? Because that's always the part that everyone asks, like, how do I do it?
Mm,
It already is in your communication, it's already in the energy, it's already in the dating app if you are on one.
mm.
Like, what do you suggest? You know, a lot of women, they want to have a date with a guy and they're impatient because they think, hey, I really like this guy. So, okay, come on, step up, do something, act. Now, today, I want a
Yeah.
date, you know, I want you to step up. So, because we are so used to do everything by ourselves, um, we sometimes take initiative, you know, like, okay, hey, do you want to go on a date with me or what?
Mm.
Or shall we go for a drink or a coffee? And I'm saying, no, that's not the question. That's not. But you can do the same as we do when we meet someone in the wild. You just give the first hint. And then I always call it a voorzet in football. Like one person passes the ball and then the other person makes a goal. So
Exactly.
who's the winner of the game? The guy who did the goal, right?
Yes.
His name is on
They
the
still need to
screen.
feel like they've done the work because if the guy
Exactly.
doesn't feel like he had to do anything for it, he's gonna, you know,
Yeah, then he's gonna be passive, you
passive.
know, and then
Ooh, we don't
his
want that.
thing inside him is activated like, I'm gonna lean back because this woman is so easy or whatever. She does the work for me, so I don't have to do. So I lose my interest. So what we can do is, for example, if you really like a guy, you feel the vibe, just mention that you like the vibe. For example,
I like your vibe or I like the vibe.
I like, no, you can say, for example, if you met someone online and you are chatting, okay?
Uh-huh.
So that's the first contact. And then you feel like, hey, this is a guy that might be interesting to get to know better, okay? But we still don't know him because he's just a digital person behind the screen. And we only have text and we don't know if he
Mm.
texted himself or ChatGPT did it. So, but okay,
Oh yeah,
that's
nowadays.
that's another one. But
Yeah.
let's talk about it later. So what you can do is you can say directly to them, like, okay, I love our vibe. I would love to chat with you by the phone, for
Yeah.
example. And then you can ask, this is an important question. How do you feel about that?
How do you feel about
How do you
that?
feel about So you the only thing you do is you are the person who passes the ball, you know? Because you say, how do you feel about it? So then he says, I love to get to know you better as well. And then you say, that sounds amazing. Then the next question, remember this one, important. What do you suggest? Because then you put the ball again in
Back in
his,
his hands,
yeah.
yes.
And then he says, well, let's do Tuesday, whatever, evening at
Yeah.
6 p.m. And then you can say, that sounds like a perfect plan. Looking forward to it. So this is what I mean with voorzet and the ball,
Yeah.
because you do not actively suggest a date. You only mention,
Yeah.
I love our vibe, or I love our energy, or I love your enthusiasm, or anything else, you know, that really emphasizes the feeling and the emotional connection.
Mm.
So if you do that, they feel seen, they feel more activated to ask you out on a date. And then it's just like the ping pong
Yeah.
effect. And then you have a date. And the same goes if you meet someone organically or in the wild, like on the padel court you just mentioned.
Yes.
You just start a conversation like, hey, guys, you had a great match. Love to see you play one day. It's
Mm,
just a normal conversation.
yeah.
And they feel seen and they say, oh, yeah, maybe you want to play with us one day. Oh, yeah, let's do that. What do you suggest?
It's so easy on the pedal courts. Let's just be honest. Like
Yeah,
it's
but
so easy to start a conversation there.
exactly. So
Yeah.
this is how it actually works. And then the man feels more masculine, like, hey, I'm gonna arrange something,
Yes. Yeah.
And then sometimes men suggest, do you know a nice place to go? And this is
Ooh,
also a trap.
this is a trap, right?
This is a trap
I know
because
what I answer when a guy asks me that, but I
tell
want to
me,
hear it from you.
tell me first.
So if a guy asks me, where would you like to go? I turn it back around to him and say, I would love to see where you're taking me. You decide, please.
Yeah, that's
Because I want to see where he's taking me. And in the past, I've done this wrong because, for example, I have a Soho House membership. And it would be so easy for me. I'm working on my laptop. And then if the guy comes to Soho House, it's a great way to meet people. Like it's just like casual.
yeah,
So I would invite them into my club, but then I would know nothing about them. It says more about me. Maybe they think I'm showing off. Maybe they think I'm, like somewhere up here, like maybe nose up or something. But that's the mistake I made in the past. Like now I just want to see where are you taking me because it says a lot about a guy.
perfect. You passed the test.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, but I mean, it's perfect how you answer it, and it can be a little bit more feminine. I'm not sure if you really write it this direct.
I don't know. I forgot, but we can go through this next time. I'll
Yeah,
text you when this comes up
yes,
again, okay?
perfect. Because, yeah, to stay in your femininity, because that's what a lot of people say. But I mean, the question is always, how do we
Yeah,
do it?
right, yeah.
And it's a lot about nuances in the communication because that really determines the vibe. And you don't have to be the easygoing one, like, oh, yeah, of course, perfect. Anything you say, I love it. No, but like you said, if he asks you like, okay, so where do you want to go? Then you can really answer like, well, thanks for trusting me in this, but I love to hear your suggestions. So I'm very curious where you take me. Looking forward to
Wow.
it.
Okay, this is golden. Okay, you just said it
Nailed it.
perfectly. Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah, but this is
Can I
what.
write this down?
Yeah. We
Need to
can.
make notes.
Yeah, for sure. The thing with this is you don't have to use my exact words, but what I did is um, you know, it's playful in a way.
Mm,
And also I challenge him. I'm really curious where you will
yeah.
take me. So, and this word curious, really activates him like, oh, wow, okay. Now I need to
Step up, be
step
a
up
man.
and
Woo!
look something and I'm going to ask all my friends for the best restaurant because I really don't know
Yes.
anything or I
Yes.
ask ChatGPT or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then he can come back and he can put some effort in it because it's easy because he doesn't want to how can I say? Um, een flater slaan.
A
Oh,
flatterslaan. Even I
it's
didn't live long enough in Holland to understand that one. Wait, what?
he doesn't want to make a mistake, for you, with
Okay.
you, to choose the wrong thing. So that's why a lot of men ask, like, okay, and it's easy for them, like, okay, do you know something? But okay, I gave the suggestion how to react on this. So actually, those things, in communication, that really matter a lot. If you can create a genuine feminine connection, or if we show our masculine direct sides, which a lot of women do subconsciously.
Oh, yeah, and, it's texting is still hard for me because I don't know how this is for you people watching. There can be so much energy in words. So sometimes I choose to do a voice note because I feel
Perfect.
when you hear my voice, you know that I'm not angry, you know that I have positive energy in your message or so I always love a voice note, but then I actually had this chat with other guys, and they're like, "Oh my god, if a girl sends me a voice note, I don't even listen to it." I'm like, "Really?" Like some guys hate it. They say like, "Oh no, when I see like a whole podcast, I ignore it." I was like, "Shit, this girl made I tried to make my podcast really short, but yeah, there might be girls that have like whole essays on there. So
Yeah.
how do you
Mm.
feel about voice notes?
I love voice notes. I do. Because why? Especially when
Also
you,
to men that you just met.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
just
yeah, for
yeah,
sure. But keep it short
yeah,
because that's the thing. Because I agree with them. If you just met a girl and and some women, honestly, can,
the anxious attachment
yeah, but
ones.
sometimes they can just do not get to the point.
Yeah.
Sometimes my clients, because they can send me voice notes and I say, keep it short, simple. Just what is your question? Where do you need help with? Make it very specific. And
We
then
all
this
know
whole
that girl.
podcast of 14 minutes and 35 seconds shows up on my WhatsApp with a whole story of anything that's not related.
I know.
And then it's tiring to
Yeah.
listen. And not from a judgmental point of view, but I get it. If you do not have something important to share or question to ask, leave it out.
Yeah.
So, yes, I get it. But you can really tell the guy, I'm sending you voice notes. I promise it's going to be very specific and fun. So please listen to it. Enjoy.
That's
Yeah, for
cute. How can he
example.
not love that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, be playful with it. And especially when you meet someone on a dating app. I know some dating apps have that function, like I believe Bumble has it and Hinge maybe.
Oh.
You can send a voice note already in the beginning without sharing your WhatsApp number.
Mm.
So use it. And I mean, the phases that I recommend when you are on a dating app is like first, of course, chatting, then say, hey, I love the vibe. Shall we have a phone call? And before the phone call, you can share some voice notes. Then you have the phone call, you already hear someone's voice, and preferably a video call. Then you
Yes.
have like the package, like, hey, how's the energy matches? And a lot of people say, oh, I never do that. I say, well, start with it.
Mm.
Why not?
Yeah,
We live
so
in a
true.
digital era. I mean,
Yeah, the moment you do a FaceTime, it's so good to pick up someone's energy. I was actually having a dinner with one of my girlfriends yesterday, and she's talking to this guy online for already 2 weeks, and they've never done any FaceTime or voice note, and she likes him.
yeah.
And I'm like,
And
wait,
she's,
wait a second. Have you met this guy in real life? She said, no. I was like, why don't you do a FaceTime? She just didn't got to that point that she wanted to do this, but now after me asking her specifically, like, I think you should do this, especially if you're planning a summer trip with this guy, like, because she's already spending so much energy with him.
oh
I'm like,
gosh,
can you imagine, like, you don't like his energy and just one phone call can help you out and like
for sure.
save you a lot
If
of
she was
time.
my client, I would absolutely look in her communication for sure in the WhatsApp contacts, and then suggest to do a FaceTime very
Yeah.
shortly. Because the thing is, what happens here is she already paints a picture in her head of this guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
She's
exactly.
Disneyfying,
Disneyfying again.
Disneyfying him. Her inner Disney princess
Yeah.
already see herself
She's done all
traveling.
the research. She's been stalking him on all his platforms, looking at his stories and, watching
Oh
videos and
gosh.
making assumptions.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but they didn't do the phone call because the thing is with chatting, especially the word chat, people can use ChatGPT to
Hmm.
send you text. I mean, it's not authentic.
Hmm.
It's easy
I
because
do
you
it
can
for breakup letters too, but
break up letters. Okay. I have something to say about ChatGPT as well, but that's another story, maybe in the next podcast. But um, I mean, you cannot pretend to be someone else when you're on the phone. I mean, okay, you can
mm,
pretend, but I mean, a little less than on a chat because it's
exactly.
direct communication. People are in the moment. You cannot look to ChatGPT. What do I need to say now?
Mm.
So I think she should do phone call, video call with him very quickly, and then use that. And still, because he lives in another country, I believe.
Yeah, he lives in America and she is now in Bali. So yeah, it's a long
Okay,
journey.
yeah, okay. But video call is absolutely the first step to take.
First video call.
Video call all the time. Yeah, because then you really know who you're talking to, and still it can be somebody else. But okay, we don't go there. That's another story. But with dating apps, I really recommend these steps. And then if you had some nice video calls and you feel like, hey, I really love our connection, you can mention it again. or they already say it. Hey, I love the connection. I love
Mhm.
to meet you. I love to meet you in person. And what can you suggest?
Thank you, Leonie. Thank you for that beautiful advice. I think I already got a sign 10 minutes ago that it was end of episode 2. But there was just so much good stuff going on that I didn't want to interrupt you. But I think we should keep some juicy things for episode 3. What do
Yes,
you think?
I love it. So let's go.
So maybe if you guys want to know more about our love life, you can just send some questions down below, and then we'll answer them for you next time.
Yeah, perfect. Love
Yeah.
it.
Thank you, Leonie.
Thank you, Iggy, for this
Terima
beautiful.
kasih.
Terima kasih, suksema.